आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
So in the given question, there is fx, which is integral greatest integer function of x when x is not is integer, and when x is integer, the function is x minus 1, and gx is given sin x plus cos x when x is less than 0 and equals to 1 for x greater than 0. Then we have to comment on the f of g of x at x equals to 0. All right. So let us find f of g of 0. What will be? So for that we need to find g of 0. Now g of 0 comes in this category. All right, so this is equals to 1. Now f of 1, since 1 input is an integer, then f becomes 1 minus 1 equals to 0. So we can say that f of g of 0 equals to 0. Now let us find out for what we are doing for the continuity of x. We are checking the continuity of f of g of x at x equals to 0. All right. Now we need to find f of g of 0 plus, which will again give g of 0 plus as equals to 1, and this will give f of 1 again as 1 minus 1 equals to 0. Now we need to check on f of g of 0 minus. So f of g of 0 minus is nothing but f of sine of 0 minus plus cos of 0 minus, right? Because this is the only value when x is less than 0 for gx. This will make us, one thing we need to see, that sine of 0 minus will be just less than 0 and cos of 0 minus will be just less than 1, right? We know that. Now for this becomes 0 minus plus 1 minus. So from this ffg of 0 minus becomes f of 1 minus, which is equals to 1 minus. Here we are going to put the values in the case when f of 1, which is greatest integer function, right? So this will give us the greatest integer function of 1 minus, which will be 0. So we have got f of g of 0 equals to f of g of 0 minus equals to f of g of 0 plus equals to 0. So fx is f of gx is continuous at x equals to 0. Now comes for the differentiability. Now for differentiability, let us find f dash of g of 0 plus. This will give us limit h tending to 0 f of g of 0 plus h minus f of g of 0 divided by h. All right. So this will give limit h tending to 0 f of g of h minus 0 divided by h. Now h, on putting h equals to 0, h tending to 0, here this upper term becomes exact 0 and here this becomes tending to 0. This is exact. So this makes this equals to 0. All right. So this becomes f dash of g of 0 plus becomes equals to 0. Now for f dash g of 0 minus, limit h tending to 0 f of g of 0 minus h minus f of g of 0 divided by minus h. This will become 0 and this is become minus of f of g of h divided by minus h. So minus gets cancelled, and on limit putting h tending to 0, this will again turns out to be exact 0. divided by tending to 0. So exact 0 and tending to 0, which always makes to 0. All right. So from here we can say that f dash of 0, f dash of 0, f dash of g of 0, 0 minus equals to f dash of g of 0 plus. This makes f dash g of x differentiable at x equals to 0. All right. So on seeing the options, we can say that option C is correct and continuous. All right. So this is correct.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।